Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Thrasher Opera House Presents, our great podcast here for the Thrasher Opera House. And we are super excited. We've got a great event coming up July 27th through the 29th. It is our Cedar Ridge Sessions. And one of the great bands that are going to be performing is Dig Deep. And Alex from Dig Deep is joining us here for the podcast. Alex, how you doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing super good. Tell us a little bit about the Dig Deep experience. How'd you all get together and tell our fans what they're kind of looking forward to a show coming up here on July the 28th?
We all used to be in a band called the Ditch Runners together, and we played around a whole lot. And I mean, that's how most of us all met and kind of all decided we wanted to leave that band at the same time. I mean, that was like 8 years ago now. And just been playing full time since then, playing as much as we possibly can. Um, Almost as much as we want to. but but yeah, it's for lack of better terms, it's a bluegrass show, but played by a bunch of guys who used to be in punk and metal bands, and I mean, I guess that kind of shows through a little bit, and um, yeah, a lot of energy. I think probably a little bit more than than intricate picking or whatever,
Right, right.
but yeah, you'll enjoy it. We have a lot of fun.
So tell me how the transition works from a punk and metal band to get into a bluegrass band.
Well, for me personally, I just walked into a place and saw the 357 string band when they were still around, and it would just blew my doors off. And I said, okay, I want to do something like that. So more or less, I mean, that was my first, you know, instance of seeing anything like that. And yeah, the whole new world opened up after that. And that was, gosh, I don't know, like probably 15 years ago or something like that.
I know you guys have done a ton of shows. I think your PR says over 600 plus shows that you guys have been and doing here in a short amount of time, and 8 years plus, and just how's that experience been? Especially when you came through some of the pandemic years and those things there. But man, that's a lot of seat time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, at this point, I mean, we probably need to update that. I personally think I've played probably 1,500 shows in the past 10 years.
Whoa.
Yeah. We all play like full time, like this is what we do.
Okay.
So between the band and just like solo stuff, picking with other people, etc. Like, yeah, we're especially during the summer. I mean, this last July we had 27 shows that month. So just yeah, lots of seat time. But I don't know. I love it, I mean, I've tried to do little stuff on the side during the winters when things slows down and etc. But it just feels right to just book more shows and play more shows, to be honest with you.
You do realize there's 31 days in July and you played 27 of them. That's impressive.
Yeah. Well, or stupid.
Alex, you talk about the music and just kind of that diverse background. Like, how do you talk about your musical background to get to the bluegrass area, but through the punk and metal world too? Like, what was stuff you were listening to that kind of got you to this step?
I mean, like initially, like I said, 357 string band was a big one. I think Hank 3 was probably a
Right.
big one at the time. And then after that, I mean, and obviously, like, I feel like everybody listened to us like some Johnny Cash or some Patsy Cline or something growing up. I mean, at least I did. And I assume a lot of people who listen to our music did too. But I mean, without even talking about that stuff, like any kind of old country or, I mean, that just kind of piled on as soon as you get the hooks in you, it's like you just want more of it. And, down the rabbit hole you go.
Yeah, I can relate to a person. I'm a metal guy myself here, but I have this affinity for bluegrass. Right? There's just something
Yeah.
about it that I'm like. It's kind of like twangy metal a little bit sometimes because there's a lot of fast picking. There's a lot of work that goes around with it too. But it's an interesting meld in how it kind of comes together.
Yeah, it's intense. There's a lot of energy and sometimes, quite a bit of aggression in it, and I guess maybe that's probably what appealed to me at the first time I saw it. But yeah, I love it, man. It's great. I love the bluegrass festivals around Wisconsin. I mean, and we've played outside of the state a whole bunch, but like obviously this is where we make ourselves a living, playing around here and the surrounding states. But yeah, man, the bluegrass scene around here is just lights out.
Yeah, we've got so many great events going on. We're talking with Alex from Dig Deep, who's going to be part of the Cedar Ridge sessions coming up here on July 28th in Ripon at Cedar Ridge. Alex, talk about the rest of the band as well. Who are the cats you playing with?
We've got Oscar Netzel on banjo. We've got Bob Wygant on mandolin, and we got Aaron Von Baron. He plays stand-up bass. He's from Green Bay. Bob's from Lake Tomahawk, originally Rhinelander. And Oscar is originally from the Pike Lake area between Fifield and Minocqua, but now he lives down here in Point with me.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Cool.
yeah, all those guys are all so good. I'm lucky to play with them. I'll be honest with you. I'm more of a
So
I'm more of a cowboy chord type of guy.
okay, yeah. Well, we need those too, right? That's the important part to have, right?
Yeah.
Those things. Talk about the future for Dig Deep too. What's down the pipeline for you?
A lot of kind of the Wisconsin bluegrass festivals, etc. But we have been trying to get on the road more and more. We just did like a little run out west like a few weeks ago, but we're already working on one for October. But yeah, we're just trying to expand, man. I mean, that's the bottom line is take whatever opportunity we can, ride whatever wave we can, just get out and do it.
Yeah, for sure. This I don't know if it's maybe a resurgence, but maybe you've seen it, the bluegrass kind of music in the Wisconsin area has just kind of seemed to be elevated, I would say, in the last 5 or 6 years. Do you seen that?
I have, man. It keeps me on my toes, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So there's
It's
a
like,
lot of people digging it, a lot of festivals popping up, and a lot of good music out there. It's a good time to be in that kind of music world.
yeah, we just have you guys caught wind of a band called Hemlock Chaser yet?
Mm-mm, have not. Tell us
Yeah,
more.
they're rad, man. They're another point band, and kind of, I guess they mesh pretty well with us, but we're doing a split with them. We just finished recording. I actually don't have like a release date yet, but it'll be this year. So you can look for that, and also they just dropped like a full length album on Spotify, which you should check out for sure. Um, what else? Oh yeah, we're cutting another full length in November with
Okay.
Scott Kirby.
Oh, we know
Yeah,
Scott.
yeah, Scott's rad, huh?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So that's cool. That is cool for sure. Hey, Alex, I want to thank you for your time today for joining us on the Thrasher Opera House Presents podcast. And we look forward to seeing you coming up on July 28th. Tickets still available, thrasheroperahouse.com. Opening for them that night is going to be Sharon Barrels, which is a great band, new band around here as well. So we're
Nice.
looking forward to having them on stage with you too. But Alex, thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Hey, appreciate you, man.